Steel and Flame, Book 1 of the Guilds of Avlaan series is available on Amazon. If you like fluffy wolf lolly protagonists and Japanese light novels, follow the link below to check it out.
Hello, Leonardo Cornejo here with another video, and today I want to talk about something that is a follow-up to my video on localization, because I swear localizers, particularly English to and Japanese to English localizers, are the only community which wants to get unemployed as soon as possible. They are the only ones of all the professions out there, the only ones who are willing to do and say things counterproductive to continuing their employment. They really want to get fired. Simple as that. They really want to get fired and blacklisted. It's the only explanation. They want to get replaced by machines. They want to never be hired again. Because they have begun to use another manipulation tactic now, which is very similar to what I was talking about in this video, where I said that create your own isn't a proposal, it's a taunt. Now they are saying, well, they have been saying it for a while, but now it intensified, and it's something the people who support them say a lot. Learn the language. It's not a proposal, it's not a solution, and they know it is not, for several reasons. First of all, I will say, I actually want to learn Japanese because I don't trust others, and I want to translate my novels to Japanese. Eventually, I need to learn Japanese if I want to do it, because I know my books will sell better there, because I know people there will be able, not learn, will be able to appreciate Ruwa better than Westerners who have their taste atrophied by Western media. Not gonna lie, I do consider modern Western media damaging to people, and I do think consuming too much of it atrophies your taste. And I am certain people here can't appreciate a character like her so often because since she's a Kemololi and not a normal human, many people mistake her for a Western version of furry. I am not interested in the Western version of furry. I like kemono characters, not furry, because furry characters are very political most of the time. So yeah, I don't precisely go through the same kind of characterization Western authors give to furry characters. I write kemono characters instead. The point is that I know that kind of character is not precisely well liked in the West. Meanwhile, in Japan, you have many characters like that. They are very popular, so I know they will appreciate it a lot more. So I do feel the need to learn Japanese and translate my novels. I could hire someone, but I don't trust many people and it would be expensive. So if I want to cut costs and have someone reliable, I would need to do it myself. Therefore, I need to learn Japanese. But you have these people saying learn Japanese, but it's not a proposal. It's a taunt, it's a challenge, it's a way to say you won't make a difference, you won't fix anything, you won't stop us. Because you want to learn Japanese. And they know most people won't. I'm not even sure if I will be capable of doing so. I am not certain if I will actually learn Japanese. Maybe I will be unfortunate and I won't. Maybe I lack the mental capacity to do so. Maybe I don't have enough time. Maybe I don't have the resources to get a proper course and I won't learn it. There is always the possibility. There is always the possibility that I won't learn it. Hold on a second. Back where we left off, I wanted to make sure my cat wasn't eating plastic. You know it's a problem with pets. Back to what I was saying. They know not everyone will learn. I don't know if I will learn. I don't know if other people will learn. There is no guarantees that people will learn Japanese. It's a taunt. It's a threat. It's a mockery. It's a way to say, we know you won't learn Japanese. They don't want you to learn Japanese. They don't really want you to, because that would mean they will lose their job. But they don't want you to tell them to do their job. Hold on. Well, now that I fixed that, back to what I was saying. As I was saying, they don't want you to learn the language. They know if you learn the language, they will be unemployed, because what they are angry about is that you are telling them to do their fucking job. Their job is translating things in a way that makes them coherent to the target audience. The part of localization where some liberties might be taken, for example puns and things like that, is the part of preserving coherence. They are not supposed to change context. They are not supposed to add memes. They are not supposed to add their political ideology. That's not the job of a localizer. But they are activists first, localizers later. That's why they do that. Because their order of priorities is not being professional first. That's the last part. The first part is being activists. The second is fulfilling their, how do I say it? Satisfying their own frustrations, because many of them are frustrated authors who failed miserably at being writers. And the last part, even after all that, the very last part, is doing their job. They don't really care about being professional. They don't really care about doing their job. They are malicious. They are incompetent. But they know people have noticed. And since they know people have noticed, and then they don't like that reality, they try to make excuses and try to provoke conflict, and in many ways they try to make sure you are not going to challenge them, you are not going to defy their ideology. They say, learn the language. They say, do it yourself. Not because they want you to grow, they want you to learn a new language and be better. No, they want you to give in. They know there are people who, for example, want to learn the language because they are not that smart. People who lack the ability to learn other languages because of sheer lack of talent, sheer lack of innate talent. People who don't have the time to learn the language. People who just don't want to. People who lack the memory or the neural plasticity to learn it. They know there are many reasons why some people throughout history don't learn a second language, let alone a third. They know Japanese is a relatively harder to learn language because of kanji and because of hiragana and katakana, instead of having the Latin alphabet, which is used in the West, and the Indian numerals. They know it won't be that easy for us to learn a language so foreign to ours. They know it takes time, it takes practice, it takes patience, skill, and resources to learn it. They know it's not easy. So they say that confidently, because they know they want to do their fucking job. They have one job, as I said, translating things in a way that remains coherent, regardless of the language. They don't do that. They inject their ideology, they inject their jokes, as I said. They do everything but their job. When you tell them, do your fucking job, they say, learn the language. or mock you in any other way. That's not a solution. That's not a proposal. That's not well intentioned. It's another one of their tactics of shaming, manipulation, and deflection. It's like when that fucking hag, Jamie Marchi, said the reason she altered things is because she's a woman. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. But to her, it's an excuse. It's, as I said, a reflection. It's turning the other into the bad person. Oh, you can't criticize my professionalism because that makes you a misogynist and a Nazi. These people are evil. I will say it that way. These people are evil. And they are incompetent. They are unprofessional. They shouldn't be employed. They should have been fired and blacklisted several years ago. And the only reason they are in that position is because people in Japan are barely aware of how bad it is. And because the companies that hire them are basically a clique where people like them get hired while professional people get rejected. They don't want you to learn Japanese. They want you to shut up and stop telling them to do their fucking job. And you shouldn't learn Japanese just because these people told you. You shouldn't learn. As a friend of mine who is actually a Japanese translator and he knows Japanese quite well. As he said, he told me once, don't learn Japanese just to consume popular culture, because that's not the right way to learn Japanese, nor is it enough motivation to learn Japanese. I suppose learning Japanese to be able to translate is a more professional and logical reason. But his point is, if you want to learn Japanese, you need passion, because it is not easy to learn. You need passion to take the burden of learning it, to make the effort of learning it. If you want to learn it only to consume media, you will grow tired, you will grow frustrated, and quit. You need passion for the language. No, he said, not even the culture, not even Japan, the language itself, because otherwise, since it is very different to ours, you will grow tired and quit. That's why these people know, and many of them don't even know Japanese, by the way. They use machine translation, and they insert their garbage into it, and make a few fixes here and there. Many of them do that. One of them bragged about it. The thing is, they know it's not easy to learn Japanese. They know you won't. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. You should tell them, do your fucking job. Because your job is to cover for all the people who don't know Japanese. To help them understand this. Not to alter it. To make it possible for them to understand Japanese culture before learning the language or without needing to learn the language. To make it even easier to learn the language in some regard, since non-native speakers often find it helpful to consume media in that language, for example with subtitles, which is how I learned English, by the way. At least the listening and the speaking of English, I learned it that way. The reading part I learned it with video games. The thing is, it's easier for someone to learn the language with subtitles. It's easier to learn the language through translation. Sometimes even comparing both versions. They know their job is helping you approach Japan and helping Japan approach you. They don't care. They don't want to do their fucking job. And they don't want you to point at that. They don't want you to remind them they are unprofessional. They don't want you to expose them in front of their employers. That's why they say, learn the language. Because then you won't have to point at it. You won't even notice. That's also another problem why we shouldn't be learning the language to own localizers. Because then we won't even notice when they do this shit. I know other people who oppose them also recommend learning the language. I say that's wrong. That's mistaken. It's not wrong in the moral sense. I say that's mistaken. That's a mistaken position, because then there is no way we will find out when these people corrupt what we care for, and this will continue. It is because that's the solution of many that this bullshit keeps happening. Don't learn the language to fix the problem of localization. That's not a reason to learn the language. If you want to learn the language, do it for any other reason, but not to fix this problem. To fix this problem, you need to expose them in front of their employers, get them fired and blacklisted, and make them an example in public. People like Jamie Marchi should be fired and blacklisted in front of everyone, so that no other localizer does that ever again. We need to reach out to Japan. If you want to learn the language, to talk to Japanese people and tell them about this, yep, that's a better solution. That's a better reason to learn Japanese. But these people are talking about the consumption of media. They say learn the language to consume the media if you don't like my localization. Because they know you won't, and because they know you should not. Because they know if you do, that will make it harder for you to expose them if you are not consuming the media in English or in Spanish, since the problem is spreading already to Latin America. They know it's ineffective, it's not a solution. And if everyone did it, and they know not everyone will, they know some people are actually under a rock and unaware of all this. If everyone did it, an example was Asmongold, was because now he knows, but he was entirely unaware. Consider the problem has been ongoing since the 80s, and Asmongold found out this year, well, not this year, like between December and January. I don't remember the exact date, but he found out in the turn of the year. He found out so close to 2024, it doesn't even make a difference if it's 2023 or 2024. And it has been ongoing since the 80s. Not as bad, that's for sure. And as bad has been ongoing since at least 2010. 2010 is when I began to notice this. It was probably even before. I mean, I don't remember exactly when Azure Striker Gunbolt was released in English. I don't remember the date. But I do remember one thing, and it's that they altered the character Sonda, who is a girl using a fake persona, to make her into a bigender who goes by the pronouns sim. They added pronouns, fucking pronouns, and Hill vs Babyface is right, fucking pronouns in English version, which were not in the Japanese version, and pronouns which are not even used anymore, by the way, because they are garbage. Because all that shit is garbage, actually. I mean, the gender fluid, non-binary, bigender, all that is garbage. It's retarded garbage. And the pronouns, especially. But they added fucking pronouns to a game which didn't have them, to please some fucker who didn't even play the game. And if you play it in Japanese, you won't notice. And that's what they want. People are finding out, are noticing, and they don't want them to notice. They know most people are under a rock and unaware yet. So don't learn Japanese to consume media. Learn Japanese to expose these motherfuckers, to replace them, to do anything but to consume the media. Because that's what they want you to do. And in the case everyone did, in the case everyone actually did, in the case somehow magically we all woke up knowing Japanese, they would be fucking unemployed. As I said, these are idiots, so arrogant. They act in a way that makes them look as if they were eager to lose their job. But it's arrogance, it's hubris. They are smug and arrogant, think they are above you, think they will win. You need to expose them in front of all of Japan, and especially in front of their employers, and tell them specifically, this kind of garbage is why I want to play your game. This kind of garbage is why I want to watch your anime. This kind of garbage is why I want to read your manga. This kind of garbage is scaring customers away. Fire them and blacklist them. It's the only solution. And we need to reach out to Japanese people, because otherwise this won't change. That's it for today. Have a good one.